So I had to. Hey, if you can see my shadow. Uh, this is so gorgeous. I mean, really, just like rolling hills, and it's just gorgeous. It's an amazing view. I've really enjoyed my time here. I have made a few other videos like this before. My love letter to Calafia and Rosarito. Um, this one's a bit different and not. I'm not sad, but I have been pensive for several days. And I feel like this is one of those things that those of us who travel go through. The knowing that we can always come back and just kind of taking everything all in. I've been here in San Cristobal for a while. I've been here for, I don't know, I first came here in December. No, the last part of November, the last 2 weeks of November, and I finished National Novel Writing Month here. I left multiple times because I was just over it and I needed a break, and I always come back. And this is a cool little spot in the center of town just to kind of like see everything. It's super cheap. I have published my book here. I got the first edition. I've stayed in a hotel. I lived there for almost 2 months while I was kind of getting things together to print the book up. I enjoyed a really beautiful co-working space. I have published my first edition of the multilingual book. I have started a lot of other, kind of finished or certain like tremendous milestones in my business. The thing is, I have not felt as lonely, I think, as I have here. Because my life has changed tremendously, I don't really go out too much to too many parties, and I just feel like things are just kind of happening and I'm just like a participant. And while my landlord was really wanting me to stay, he offered me a huge discount and said, just leave your stuff here, and you could always come back, and you have your key. I won't go in your place, and help me help you, and you can just, you'll always have a place here. And the price is so cheap. But the thing is, I still don't know. When I seriously consider how cold it's going to get in the next 2 months, the month of exploring is just like, it's nice to travel light, but it's time to go. My soul was like ready to leave several times, and for logical or practical reasons, it always makes sense to come back. The good thing is, this is not the only place in the entire country in which I will feel like it's gorgeous. I mean, this is a country where they produce so much of the world's exported food that I will still be able to find things just as cheap or just as amazing in this space. So it's not going to be terrible, to leave. I have at least some connections I'm willing to make, and I know I may not necessarily be a city person, but I'm really looking forward to the next chapter of things. And by the time this is updated or uploaded, I would have moved on. So I have really loved San Cristobal. I've had some ups and downs here, but I and have eaten some amazing food. But there's times where we just know it's time to move on, and it's always beautiful to visit, but there's something internally that says it's time to go. There's something within my soul that says, if you don't take this next trip and move on, you just won't know. And this happened often, actually. This happened when I'd been fasting for a long time, and I left Seattle, Washington. I fasted, and then, well, I wasn't fasting at this time, but when I left Chiang Mai, I was just in tears. I feel so unemotional about this next trip. Well, I don't want to say unemotional. I've been in mental like conflict back and forth. Look at this sunset. There's churches everywhere. I mean, it's just gorgeous, but just because it's gorgeous doesn't mean it's right. I've really enjoyed this space, and I'm really excited for the next step, whatever that is. I've gotten lots of dreams that have indicated that it's okay to move on, but it's just gonna be okay. I feel like there's been so much excitement that's happened in my own life that, like, it's not as exciting. I think more because I'm just so focused on, like, I'm just working all the time, so it's not as like thrilling. And to be honest, a lot of the connections that I made here is not substantial. I'm not really enjoying some of the conversations that I've had with a lot of people. So most of them just kind of like to sit and like discuss life. They're on their time on. They're not, or they're working for someone else, or they're interested in like meeting people for casual situations. And while that's okay, I'm just in a different chapter. And then let's be honest, most of the other people are transient. They're here for 1 month, 2 months, and then they leave. And then you go and meet somebody else, and they're there for 1 month or 2 months, and then they leave. And so I found that it's a lot difficult to have the types of conversations that I want. And I get it. I'm not going to find all that in one specific place. It's not so much a chasing after. It's just a appreciation of an experience that I've had, and like a recognition. It's time to have another experience. So I'm just kind of in that space and very unemotional about it. I have not really been very good about planning how I was going to leave. I mean, I've been looking at different like tickets and stuff like that, luggage. How much was this going to cost? So it's just been a lot of ping ponging and whether to stay here and leave my stuff, or carry all of the books that I've printed. But to be honest, people need to read it. So if I don't carry my books somewhere, where are they gonna be? So this is like 100% important for me to keep moving, just keep moving, and just like kind of look at these and just daydream with me for a minute. So it's just kind of important to see where else I what other options are out here, and what other kind of professional associations I could have with like-minded people. This is an amazing place. It's very cheap to live. It's very cold. But sometimes we don't know what we need until we're gone. Until we leave to get to the places where we go. And then when we get there, we're like, okay. So when I was in La Paz, for example, I didn't even tell you guys where I was because I just went through a stage of really needing to just keep quiet about a lot of things, including where I was, my whereabouts, the projects I was doing. I was just like super secret. I just felt like it was time to disappear. So I'm also kind of feeling like not so much discipline, taking on a new endeavor. And I don't know what that looks like, but I would be a lie if I wasn't following my soul. And I will be very dishonest as a parent to my inner child, if I didn't also just like heed to her calling. And when she says, "Mommy, I'm tired. Mommy, I want to go," I just say, "Okay, 1 minute. Let's just finish the book." "Mommy, I'm tired." "Okay, 1 minute. Let's just wait till the lease ends." "Mommy, I'm okay. 1 moment." So it's just kind of like, if she wants to go and play, I have to go let her play. if there's something else inside of me that says, like, if wisdom starts calling, says, I don't think you need to do this. So I've been grappling with a few like of these choices, right? Do I just like leave my stuff here, and is it that much? Could I carry it? I've been carrying it all this time and everything seems to be okay. The thing that concerns me the most is the next wave that's coming, and the second form 2.3, 2.5 before the third that comes. If anything were to happen and I'm not able to get to the rest of my things, I can't take that chance. I must be where my things are. That will, it's just important to have my things with me. 1 or 2 days is a different experience than 2 months. So who knows what's to bring. Maybe I always come, like, it's like, well, it wasn't that great, and I come back. At least I would have had that experience and that knowing. So yeah, I'm like cheesing, but oh, what happened? Oh, it's ashy. But a bit like, kind of unemotional about it. So let's just see what happens. And yeah, this was really nice. I've really, really enjoyed my time here in San Cristobal. And so yeah, it's time to let new adventures come up. I've taken so many tours. This place is beautiful for the greenery outside of here. And my 1 day trips, I would always travel to Tuxtla. Remember I was talking to you guys in Signs It's Time to Leave, my love letter to Calafia. And then I also made, I think it was Instagram, for why Q&A, why how I know it's time to leave Puerto Escondido. And these are places I'd stayed in for a while. So a lot of times there's the mental conflict that goes back and forth, like, well, I should stay rooted here. And there's a should. I should do this. I should stay here. It's very cheap. It should work out. It should. But shoulds just mess everything up. I should stay together for the kids. I should be married to this person because we've had 10 good years. Shoulds mess up everything as opposed to just doing, right? This is not validation, it's activation. So activating, let's just go. Let's just go. It's not easy to make this life choice, but it's quite simple. It's been very positive and it's helped me a lot stay in one spot. I've loved looking at this view. I loved it. I've loved some of these the sunsets, the rainy days. It's rainy season here, so I've been making some pretty fun videos every now and again, going back and forth. And my 1 day trips to Tuxtla, which is the capital of Chiapas. So yeah, I just still need to explore. This just feels like I'm just a sitting duck and I'm going from here and there and here and there and here and there. And my creative trip was amazing for a few days, and then to move on for a few days. But the thing is, there's always an amazing place that I could rent for 1 month for super cheap. You can get places for 2,000 pesos, 3,000 pesos, 4,000, 10,000 for 1 month to just sit and chill. So this is not the end of the world. It's just a really great place that's really fostered me, and I'm so appreciative. With that said, I love you guys. And where are you all at? Are you traveling? Are you taking your vacation? Are you preparing for the next, wave of stuff? Do you have things like crates, seeds, whatever you would need? Even if you're nomading, and we're talking about that, maybe we'll talk about the next video. But yeah, do you have what you need in case there is a second lockdown? Third, fourth, depending on wherever you are in the world. So we can maybe expect this until November-ish. Yeah. So hang tight, but just live your life while you can. I'm really excited for warmer weather. I'm not sure what is happening with my skin. Maybe it's because I'm in Mexico, but I've just been quite happy here. And yeah. All right, guys. See you. Bye.